A candidate without structure is giving them sleepless nights. Oge Nsima. A well-known Nigerian Facebook influencer and professional realtor, Oge Nsima has taken to her official Facebook page to show support for the former governor of Anambra State and presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Gregory Obi. While sharing on her Facebook page, Oge Nsima made it known that Peter Obi's supporters, including herself, are highly committed to his presidential ambition, and even the Northerners are highly committed, adding that Nigerians are tired of suffering and they are not happy with the government. Further speaking, Oge slammed Reno Mokri, a well-known Nigerian human rights activist and former special advisor to Goodluck Ebele Azikiwe Jonathan and Dino Melaye, saying that a day can't pass without them being distracted with the obedient movement, adding that Peter Obi's supporters have not even started camping yet. Oge Nsima, however, stated that a candidate whom they claim that doesn't have any structure is now giving them sleepless nights, adding that the opposite parties have not seen such a thing before. Well, in her own words, for us obedient children who are highly committed to the Obi movement, even Aboki, them are highly committed. We are all tired of suffering and we are angry. Unlike Gino Melaya and Reno Mokri, a day cannot pass without them being distracted by the obedient movement. Someone should remind them we haven't started camping yet. A candidate without structure is giving them sleepless nights. I know they haven't experienced such a wave before. As the general 2023 presidential election is fast approaching, there have been many controversies regarding who will make a better president and rewrite the history of the country. However, based on self-performance, Peter Obi seems to have won the heart of many Nigerians as they are willing to come out and vote for him. So what is your view on this? The article asks. It's absolutely true. Given the amount, even the funds as well, it's a big loss from the end. From now, we haven't even got into the vote. And even if they do get the votes, APC or PDP, if Peter Obi, possibly if he doesn't win, it will still be a loss for them because they were really desperate to do it and they pulled out so many stops. And I think if you talk about who had the most, I'm literally predicting, right? But with the journey so far, who's had the most effective and efficient journey so far? I'm talking with promotion, with spending, with wise spending, and again, we're talking wise spending, these people would just, they'd rather devalue or depreciate or appreciate the currency to fit their agenda, if it's to print more money or if it is to print less money because they want to share. Like, they literally mess up the economy to their own advantage. So it's like, how efficient were you in that process? Because you being selfish, you just did it for yourself. So it's like, who has been more efficient? And I think it's more painful because we're talking APC and PDP, who have the big boys, who have the structure, they have the money, they've spent so much, yet the support that they would hope to get, despite intentions or allegations of them trying to rig or trying to cheat their way through, they don't still have that kind of support. So it's a thing where, okay, fine, it's okay for them to be jealous. Obaski did come out to talk about how the support for Peter Obi, is getting a lot. And, there are also members of APC that are well known also stating the same thing. And their argument always is you have no structure. Their argument is your support is just online. But it's like, come on, with your B wave, like, people decided the mass registration of PVCs has never been like any before. Even it's like you can't necessarily say one thing is the cause of mass registration of people getting their voters cards. However, Peter Obi was a triggering point because we're like, okay, he was in the big boy, part of the big party, and now he made a decision, seeing how good he is, not to stay in that party platform, and then the big risk trying to go to a very less well-known party. So it's a thing where, if anything, we can trust that he can be able to make moves even within his colleagues that may not agree with what he's doing and still come out and achieve effective results. And I think that is very key for someone who we want to be president. It's not just it's not just you being perfect, having the perfect CV, having experience. You can have that and work in different organizations, but working in Nigeria and working with Nigerian politicians that also know you, and you've been in a space with them, and you've been in a place of power with them, and you're still able to maintain your integrity and save funds, public funds, and do your best. It's like, okay, fine. This is someone who's not just academically smart, not just a strategist, but understand how to play the game in Nigerian politics. So it's like, we would say, okay, fine. He's not vulnerable to be eaten quickly, if that makes sense. Because that's also a big thing that we also have to be careful of. But yes, Peter Obi is definitely giving them sleepless nights, and it's very obvious. I think even with his campaign, the way he speaks, I mean, they throw shade at him, we throw shade at them. Not that he intentionally does that. I mean, he's a very smart person with the way he speaks. But, he stated, I'm not desperate to be president. I'm desperate to make Nigeria work. So it's like, yes, I mean, it reflects good on his character, but also, says a lot about his opposition, because it's so clear. I mean, his opposition have spent so much money. It's like they've spent so much money just to get to represent their parties, let alone now trying to get or spend money for people to vote for them. It doesn't make sense. And it's like, when Nigerians then choose to support you in spite of every argument, because, the whole structure thing. I mean, Labour Party is not a big party that we know of, but now they've gained so much relevance everywhere, and people are now joining the party. Nigerians are like, if you need the money, if you need the campaign, we will be the campaign. And, that's how it should be. It shouldn't just be like, oh, the politician of the party is just out here with the money trying to, make campaigns and push. Because it's a thing where the party would feel entitled to having to win. But when the people also fund the movement that they want for themselves, everyone has a hand in achieving that result. And I think it's a testament to the fact that, okay, fine, if they can do this for Peter Obi, these are people that be willing to work with the policy that he would make, because they trust that he's doing the right thing. But it's a thing where, with them complaining about his structure, if he has the relevance, the influence, whatever, or I think even Shure was out here saying, oh, Labour Party doesn't have any recognition in the North, and was comparing votes of 2019, yes, comparing votes that Labour Party had in 2019 to his own party, and his party had more votes. Very much irrelevant. One, you cannot compare now to 2019. Like, come on. Doesn't make sense at all. But yeah, I think in that regard, it's sort of belittling the party. But yeah, my point is, when the people self-fund or push something that comes out of their own pocket and are willing to contribute, then they also have that entitlement that, we did this together, so we expect good results. Because again, if you leave it to the party for them to spend their own money, or the candidate to spend his or her own money, that entitlement and desperation will come, because it's like, excuse me, I invested this much, I'm going to win. And that's not the good thing that we want from someone who we look at to lead us. So yeah, put what you think about this in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.